deadly and addictive. Wow. That's a hell of a combination, right? I think what I want to get to the bottom of is, how do these people that make these cigarettes, that sell them, that, promote them, that commercialize them, how do they sleep at night? I know how they do it. I'll tell you. How do they do it? They make them more deadly and more addictive. You're saying, what? How would that help someone that makes cigarettes? How would that help them sleep at night? It's obvious. They have this product. It's killing people. It's very addictive, so the people can't stop killing themselves. So they increase the nicotine in the cigarettes, make them more addictive. This just happened recently. They just increased the nicotine by like 10%, So people want to smoke them more that smoke already. And they make them more deadly. They put shit that's not in tobacco. They just put cyanide and feces and hair removal shit and all kinds of crap. There's like, thousands of chemicals in cigarettes. So they made them more deadly, more addictive. How does that help them sleep better at night? Simple. They told you so. You see? If they just sell something that they just grew from a plant and they just processed it and did whatever and it's killing people, they would say, there's something immoral about that. We really shouldn't be doing that. That's wrong. But if they tell you, hey, this is going to kill you, but you're going to love it, and we're going to make you love it even more. And they say, hey, we told you so. We told you so. We know it's killing you, but you can't stop smoking it, so why should we not provide you with the things that you want? Hey, McDonald's is going to still sell their cheeseburgers. They're going to still sell their shit burgers. The airplanes are still going to keep flying people around, even though some of them crash once in a while. Car companies are still going to keep selling cars, even though people keep crashing into each other. All right? So they say, hey, we're just doing what we've always done. We're just selling our product. It's deadly and addictive. We know that. And we're going to make it even more deadly and more addictive just so you understand where we're coming from. Because we got to put this label on here. So we really want to make it count. You know what I mean? It was like in that movie. You saw that movie, Thank You for Smoking. They were at some court hearing because they said they wanted to change those warning labels. Because they're in English, of course. They don't have any pictures. They're very vague. So the advocates were saying there needs to be a picture. There needs to be, how about skull and crossbones? Right? I said, well, that's a little extreme. But then when you hear the guy talk, this is my favorite line from the movie. He's like a guy, he's got like a Spanish accent, and he's like talking about the labels, and he says, when you write these labels in English, that means you are implying that you want everybody who doesn't speak English to die. Isn't that great? This is like, yeah, you know what, you're right. Put the skull and fucking crossbones on there. Something else very strange about cigarettes. Has anybody ever seen the process for making cigarettes? Have you? I haven't. I have never seen a video. I've seen lots of videos, I'm fascinated by those videos you see on Sesame Street or wherever, how they make stuff, and they go into the factory and you'll see them making crayons or making chocolate kisses or whatever. Fascinated by those. Can you find one where they're making cigarettes? You can't. There are videos. I know everybody has seen the video of like the stacking machine or whatever it is. They have like the already rolled cigarettes come into like some holding container, and someone scoops out a giant handful of them and then lays them in a box. That's the only video you'll ever see. But what's the process? Now, I'm guessing, the most deadly addictive product ever created in the history of anything, I'm guessing that's a pretty fucking heinous process, I could just imagine that. I mean, first theory is that it doesn't happen in one location. There's no way that all the stuff they do to that tobacco before it gets rolled into a cigarette, I'm sure that doesn't happen in one location. I'm sure that happens in at least 2 different buildings, maybe even 2 different whole sites. Like they might just do part of it in one place and then truck it to some other place to do the other part. Just because they want to keep their workers in the dark, You don't want people blabbing about, wow, do you know how they make cigarettes? It's a crazy. They don't want people saying that shit. So I'm guessing the first process is they take the tobacco, and I'm guessing they have some big giant vats of liquid and chemicals, just like big like dry cleaning drums, something like that. And they just throw the tobacco leaves in there and they just soak them in there, soak in some of that chemical goodness. Just like really just get it all soaked in. And then they probably take it out of there, they dry it out or whatever, and then they cut it up, some kind of cutting process. I'm sure they're probably using like some big knives or some grinder or something stupid, but I just had this brilliant idea. I'll give this away for free. This is, I'm not going to like patent this and try to sell this to some tobacco company, Why? Why would I do that? But I think if they're not, they should be using lasers to cut the tobacco. Wouldn't that be awesome? Some lasers just cutting it all up, and they should be computer controlled so they can, cut into exact size pieces that they want. And it would be really cool if they had like an array of lasers that were just like lined up like in a certain way, and then they could just like shoot the tobacco through the laser field, like just like blow it through like with like a high powered like air blower, and then it would just like instantly like shred it and then come out on the other side and just like all the right pieces and sizes that they need. Wouldn't that be cool? I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, hey, if you cut it with lasers, the lasers would burn the tobacco, and then that it wouldn't work. And I thought about that, So here's the thing. If you put it inside a vacuum, just make a whole like vacuum room where there's no like oxygen. That way when you cut it with the laser, it won't burn. Yeah, see? Thinking. So after they cut it up with all the lasers and everything, and they get the all chopped up chunks, they probably take it to like some other like... What the fuck? You see this? I don't even fucking smoke. You see how fucking deadly and addictive these things are? I don't even freaking smoke, and the shit just comes into my mouth and it's lit and I'm smoking it. What the fuck? Do they put in these some kind of magic genies or something? God damn, what the fuck? Alright, so after they cut it up, I'm sure after the initial, soaking of the tobacco in the vats with all those chemicals, I'm sure there's like a process after that, after it's cut up, where they spray it, to get those little edges where the thing was cut, so everything could get covered with these chemicals, whatever they put on it. I'm sure there's some spraying process, and then they probably dry it up and then send it into the rolling machine. But I'd really like to see what that process is like, because I've never seen it, and it's super top secret. You can't see videos of it on the internet. Nobody has ever said like, hey, this is the story of how cigarettes are made. This is how they put all the chemicals. This is why they're so fucking deadly and addictive. You've never seen that. Someone should investigate that. Are there no investigative journalists left on the planet Earth?